Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right now, he ended up, got the little sun glare going because it's mid afternoon, but I got some time. I can put together a nice little lesson for you. And I took the time out, so let's do what we do. Right as 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message and a story for life. I give life lessons. And you tune in and receive them. I hope they're working out for you. I love the comments. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and yeah, I'm on it, doggone it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Give you information to obtain knowledge of yourself that you can manifest for yourself and know for yourself. Right thinking philosophy works. Now, right thinking is way of life, and if it's practiced daily, that's what it becomes. Through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is to get you to do just that. Know thyself with what? Knowledge and understanding. And you putting the work in, implement it in your life, you'll see for yourself. And you'll know yourself. Trust me. Let's go. The question I ask, do you know you? If you got a problem with that, it's rhetorical. But if you don't know the answer, check me out. I'll help you out with that. That's what I do for you. Let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard that. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. I love you guys. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. And I cover my mouth on that phrase because I don't want to say no more. I just stop right there. Why? Because there's a lot of things I can say and want to say, but I refrain. So I'm getting better. A person who knows, but knows not that they know, is spiritually asleep. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know probably wear a Yankee jacket and a funky sage hat. Trust them. Why? They know the real deal. And all these persons really reside in you. Maybe not the jacket and the hat, but to thyself be true and always know thyself and to my be true. Now, I'm big on knowledge. I'm big on spiritual knowledge. Why? Because spirit is God. Knowledge is knowing. I need you to know and learn about God for yourself. That way you can praise, worship, and serve him on your terms, not what somebody else say to do. Nuh-uh. You control that dynamic all yourself. So that's what knowledge of self will do for you. Give you that opportunity. That's what I do for you. So right thinkers, let's talk about spiritual knowledge, aka spiritual truth can what? Can be manifested, aka proven. Superstitions can't be proven. Allegorical stories can't be proven. Misunderstood facts can be proven. Truth, spiritual truth can proven. I'm doing that as we speak. Let's talk about having spiritual knowledge, improving it. Why? By living, doing, and being. That's the way. A bunch of jibber jabber. We got a whole bunch of people with the gift of gab, and that's cool. It'll get you certain, but at a certain point in time, when a person can pick up the truth because they know they have discernment, they have knowledge of self, they can go past you BS's. Why? Now they know better. They don't know better. They're ignorant. We'll talk about that too. Ignorance make you vulnerable for a whole lot of stuff. Let's go. Spiritual knowledge is what? Is knowing thyself. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget my grandmother told me, grandson, I got a sixth grade education, but you can't fool me. That means she knew she got common sense. She knew enough to know that. So you ain't got to be a brain surgeon. You just got to use common sense. Okay? Knowing thyself and what? Studying is good. But when you start living your belief, that's what makes a good Christian, Muslim, or Jew. Why? The belief that they were told, they believe it and they implement it. They're not questioning it. Why? They live in it. So when you do that, it'll work. Like anything else. If you pump weight every day, you're going to get muscles. If you live right every day, you're going to be blessed. It's just that simple. That's the concept. Let's go. Right thinking philosophy does what? Gives you spiritual knowledge, aka truth that you can manifest for yourself. Why? That's how it's done. I don't want you to believe what I say. I don't want you to take that. No, no, no. Your own, yourself. You can put the work in yourself and find out for yourself. That's my thing, philosophy, and that's what I try to get you to understand. I put the onus on you to do what you're supposed to do. If that's what you want to do, you can think it, hope it, wish it, pray it. But if you ain't putting the work in, it ain't never gonna happen. So, spiritual knowledge is learning and living knowledge of who? God. I'm God conscious, I'm God centered, I'm God based. Why? That's a spiritual thing. We call it God, but I'm spiritual with knowledge of God. And with the living concepts that I do and fulfill my own way, my own style, I'm being blessed. So I can tell you it works. If I wasn't being blessed, I can talk till I get blue in the face. It could sound good, but if he ain't registering it, if it ain't working for him, it ain't gonna work for me. So I tell you, I work for God. So you can what? Worship and praise him in earnest and understanding, not in just superstitious allegorical stories. Get back, get out of there. I ain't trying to do that. I'm just trying to teach. Now this lesson is about if you're a believer in God, no problem with that. That's not having God or AKA spiritual knowledge. Belief just means that you have somebody told you and you believe, but knowledge is you manifesting it for yourself. There is not the difference. And that's why I respect a good Muslim, Christian, or Jew. Why? They understand what they're doing, they believe it, and they live it. So I don't have a problem with them. Even though I don't follow, subscribe to what they do, they ain't got to follow, subscribe to what I do. But respect one another, we won't have a problem. Spiritual knowledge. No, excuse me. What? I got one more. To know God. There you go. My thing is to know God. Don't believe in Him. I could care less about believing in God. To know God, you have to what? Obtain what? God, aka spiritual knowledge or self. Now, why? Because once you get the knowledge, you got to implement it for yourself. So now it's self knowledge. Why? Because you're using it, you're manifesting it, you know for yourself. And if you live right and do right, magic will happen. Y'all call it miracle. No, I call it a blessing. That's the purpose and the reason for doing right according to him. Why? He the one's going to bless you. Your brother, sister, mother, brother, uncle, they can't bless you. Only can. And understand that I'm not running around here, God, God, God. No, I'm living, doing the things that I know God would respect and appreciate. That's a little different than being a God fanatic. Spiritual knowledge, aka God knowledge, once acquired, should what? Change your life. It did mine. I wasn't spiritually inclined back in my day. He wasn't spiritually inclined at his old age. So I don't fault nobody. I was an older guy when I got my knowledge, but I'm trying to show young people, don't waste your life a bunch of nonsense. Go straight to the source. Get God conscious as soon as possible, aka know yourself. It's the same thing. If you're a Christian, become Christ-like. I don't care. Muslim, do what you gotta do. But do it. Young people, start changing your life at a young age. A lot of us change when we get older. Why? Because we done went through a whole bunch of stuff that we tried and didn't work. Now we know. If you just go straight, I told all my kids, dilly-dallying, no. Straight to the point. Focus, go where you got to go. They graduate from high school, went to college, and continue their life on. That's what I taught them to do, and they're working fine for them. My son said, Dad, he just gave me back my book. I gave it to him. He said, I like the new stuff you're doing, that's fine, but I'm still doing good with the old stuff. So I mean, it worked for him. He manipulated and used it to his benefit. That's what parenting is all about. Give them something that they can use for themselves and make it their own. I don't want him to be like me. Extra but no, be a good person. That's what I ended up being. So if I get my children to do that, or my right thinkers, y'all let my children, I want you to do the right thing. Why? We benefit from it. Simple as that. Okay, moving on. Ignorant people. You just did that one. If you're spiritually ignorant, what that means? That means you have no knowledge of God. You may believe in God, but you ain't serving him. You ain't doing nothing but you. That's the egoistic people. And they will fake you out and tell you they believe in God and go to church and hang out with you the whole time, still sneaky, deceitful, and conniving. But they'll get there, so don't worry about that. I'm not here to judge nobody. That ain't my job. I'm here to enlighten all those who I can, who want to be. That's it. Now, spiritual enlightenment is what? It comes when you master oneself. That's the level of Nihas. That's the level of Christhood, becoming anointed. Why? You realize, you become conscious that you and God are one. Your boy said, the Father and I are one. Can't get no more specific than that from my Christian followers. I got a problem with that. And I said, I understand it. He understood it too. Excuse me. Now, self-knowledge is what? Is living in your spiritual truth. Just like a good Christian, follow the 10 Commandments, spiritual truth, you can live them and activate them. Mine is called Maya, 42 confessions. So, yeah, you got something to figure, to work with, and live by. If you live right, and they say, well, what's the benefit? That is not the problem. You will find out for yourself. If you've done it, you wouldn't ask that question. If you haven't received a blessing, that means you haven't put some work in to earn it. Moving on. So listen, self-knowledge is living in your spiritual truth with what? Spiritually disciplined morals and ethics that you live by daily. How many of us doing that? Just saying. Next one. When spiritual truths are mastered, you are, aka a right thinker, who what? Who is blessed through your daily deeds. Just living right every day. Blessings will come your way. And my pastor do it every morning. Why? We discussed the previous days, what we did, how we made sure we took care of our obligation to him. And no matter how wrong somebody treated us, how bad somebody did to us, we still did what we need to do, stay firm and committed. He keeps me on the straight and narrow. I love that. I got somebody who understands. So, moving on. It's good to have somebody to bounce off with. Why? Man, it's a lonely walk, but I'm by myself. Ain't nobody but me and God. Yeah, that's okay, but you got other people who walk the same walk. All you gotta do is find them. I found mine. We good. Here you go. Spiritual knowledge. Was that down there? Literature. Okay, here we go. Nope, nope. Well, I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Spiritual truth can be manifested. How? And proven to work. How? Living it. Implement it and find out. If I say do 100 push-ups a day, and in 30 days, you'll have some results. And if you do that, what you gonna say in 30 days? Man, you was right. I get that a lot. That right thinking works. So trust me on that one. All right. You can't master anything, anything, without what? Years of what? Daily practice of what you're learning, living the truth that you believe was right. And if truth has always been the truth, it haven't changed. My yacht is still my yacht. I haven't changed a thing. I just implement it and dress it up modern style so you can understand it and use it. Ain't nothing changed. Moving on. Here we go. Yeah, I see the clock ticking. Sorry about that. Here you go. Spiritual truth, I just told you, haven't changed. My yacht is still my yacht. The blood of Jesus still works. Get it? So since they have been introduced to man, they gave us that for a reason. And it's been around ever since. And for those who follow it, we understand. Those who follow something else, it's fine. It's cool. Not mandatory. Okay? Free will. Spiritual truths are like what? They are real. And if you learn them and live them for yourself, you will change your life for the better. Guarantee. Why? It's a philosophy that once learned and mastered, you will be a better you. I'm a better man because I was a Mason. Why? I learned the tenets of Masonry and I implemented them and I lived them. So I know them too. Just gave lessons about arbitrary and speculative. I use all my knowledge esoterically. Why? Because it's the hidden meaning to anything I'm giving you. I'm not giving you the nope. I'm giving you the real. Okay, keeping it real. Where we at now? Spiritual knowledge is self-knowledge because what we are what spiritual beings. So spirit is God. Knowledge is having understanding of God. So I give you those things in every way I could. Why? Because that's where I got them from. Okay? If you're an avid reader and studier, you'll have a whole bunch of stuff. I know a guy who only got one book. He gonna go there, but yeah, some people only need one. All right, here we go. When I was young, I liked variety. Moving on. But because we are what? Spiritual beings, spiritual truths are really what? Self-truth that we need to know for ourselves. And once you implement it and live it, it's a beautiful way to go. Spirit is what? We are given by God. That's the spirit that's in us. Knowledge is what we as human beings, something we have to acquire for ourselves. That's not the gimme. That's why a lot of us fall short right there. Because if it ain't given to them, if it ain't easy, they don't want it. That's why they made it hard. Why? Because everybody don't like it hard. So I call it, excuse me, yeah, okay. I call it heart-mind coherence. Heart meaning spirit, mind meaning the consciousness, and when you put them together, working as one, that's mayat, balance, that's harmony within oneself. You become one with your higher self. No matter how you slice this pie that I serve you, it's always going to come down to one serving one. You and your higher self equals one, not two. Spiritual, where you go? Spirit is what we, okay, got that one. Okay. Spiritual knowledge is what? Two things working together as one. That's right thing of philosophy or Maya philosophy. Why? Balance is always needed. Spiritual ignorance, here you go, is not knowing thyself. And just because you know your name, that ain't knowing yourself. Okay? So, not knowing yourself, spiritual enlightenment is what? Knowing thyself. That's the difference. Enlightenment means to know something, to get a knowledge and understanding of something. So, becoming spiritual enlightened means you know God for yourself, aka know thyself. Moving on, and wrap this up. Yeah, I see my time running. I got you. Last bracket, we almost home. Coming down the backstretch. Spiritual truths is how you know thyself. What you mean? By living them for yourself. Sorry about that. I just think it just works right. It walked right into the concept. I know what I know. How do I know it? Not because I read it in the books, and I did a lot of that, but I had to implement them. I had to exercise. I had to prove that what I read, what I think, what I understand, what I think is true by living it myself. When I was doing my drugs, before you got it, trust me, I already did it. So whatever you tell me about it, if it ain't what I know it to be, I know you're lying. But if I didn't, I couldn't argue the point. That's what knowing what you know is important. Trust me. I know God and I know myself. So I know what I know, not because I read in the book, but because I live it. Now, I have mastered the Maya philosophical concepts called Shita Netta. I just tweaked it and called it right thing in philosophy, but it's all based on our ancient ancestral concepts with my twist, my life experiences. That's the part that makes it right thinking. Other than that, it's Shita Netta, it's in my Taiwan philosophy. Trust me. I ain't trying to invent nothing new, make nothing. No, I got everything I need right here. So let's go. Let me wrap this up. Appreciate you too. Now, if you have self-mastery, aka know thyself, and you want to what? Teach it to others, by all means. You only can teach what you know. Well, that's what I do. And if you don't know it, don't profess or don't try to teach it. Once you master it, you can be a jack of all trades. You can have a jack of all concepts, but you got to master one. Knowing thyself is the one you really should master. If you really want to take it, pick that one. Master psychology, therapy, all the ologies. Self mastery trumps all those. Moving out quickly. Yeah, I'm about to do a little trip in here. You know, like Bruce Lee. Everybody knows the great Bruce Lee. He was a Shaolin monk. He created Jet Kwando because that was his concept. I'm just doing the same thing with right thing philosophy. I had to get that concept in and see if you can get the similarities. And watch this. He was a Shaolin master. I created my own style. So you call me the Bruce Lee of spirituality, like that. Okay, I know the truth. I live the truth. And that's why I teach you those truths and show you how it's done on a day-to-day basis. Trust me, I know what I know. I know what you should know, and I'm teaching you that every day. Tune in. I got you. I'll be back. I got more.